What's up? What's up? Facebook, we back. YouTubing, Twittering, all that right there, right there, right there. For
All
me,
of that.
all that. Car talk. We just coming on a Thursday edition today. We got a guest coming soon. Um, Me, of course, mental. What's up, Jazzy?
What's up, bro? We back at it.
Right. Anything you want to say to the peoples?
If you're on here, just like, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and on Facebook. My brother Mental, he has a book out, Overstanding Darkness. That's the name of our Facebook page. Completely metaphysical science, something that you will not regret reading. You can get it on Amazon, on any platform, and support him. I mean, we need to
Minds can
support.
bind, baby.
There you go.
Minds can bind.
We want to
It's my
support
logo.
support. Want to support our brother. Um, and that's another one. And actually, next week I'm gonna get back into it full time.
That
My
Metu
vacation will
Netter,
be
baby.
over.
The Meat Suit book. This will help you overstand your body. You'll understand everything that's going on in the meat
Mm-hmm.
suit.
Mm-hmm. And we do every Sunday at 2. We
Yep.
do so if you want to go ahead and we go through right now, we're going through the book of which one we doing now? We still
The
doing the
book
book
of
of Enoch?
knowledge.
Okay.
Keys of Enoch. These are one of the
Okay.
scriptures, one of the 243 scriptures of the Bible, where they only chose 50 or 60 or whatever they got in there. So
Mm-hmm.
these are one of those books, the books they don't want you to know. This is where they get their sci-fi movies and stuff from.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is they can't imagine a world without violence, without conflict, or
Mm-hmm.
worlds, or other worlds. Everything has to always be in violence. Everybody running around with guns or rifles or pistols or lasers or swords or Jedi. Everyone's fighting everybody, but that's not how it is. That's total opposite of the unity of
Mm-hmm.
the Father's plan. And that's what we talk about on Sundays at 2. That unity. The Father's universe, Son's universe, the Mother's universe, or the Spirit's universe.
Mm-hmm.
So
So we've been doing this. We started out with car talk maybe right before the pandemic, I think, right? Was it during the pandemic or right before?
damn. I think it was
Years
right
don't went by.
before.
So yeah,
I
right
think it was
before.
right before the pandemic.
Right before the pandemic. At first, what happened, I was calling my brother and we was talking spiritual knowledge. And then what happened, I was like, man, I got to record this. So I used my other phone in the beginning just to put it on the seat. And then coming through the car speakers, we used to just go ahead and go back and forth and record. Because I was like, yo, man, we was talking every day. And I was like, yo, bro, somebody need to hear this. I mean, this is some good
Right.
stuff. So we started taping it. So I still got to go ahead and forward you. I got to find a way to dump those because it's like 30, 30, maybe 40, 50
Treat them.
conversations that we.
Look, if it's audio, treat it like a music track. You could always download it, boost up the levels, turn down stuff. You can always do that.
Okay,
You
because
know what I'm
that
saying?
right. So I mean,
Then
that's
you
from
can
the.
move it around wherever the hell you want to move it.
We had some good conversations back then,
I
man.
can't even remember most of them, bro. In fact, I
Uh,
can't remember any of them.
I remember a lot of them. So I got them on my other phone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and like you said, go ahead so I can get them out. Then we was going to do the radio station, which we delayed a little bit, but then he was like, "Yo, we can just go ahead and do it through Facebook." So we got on Facebook. Then we got started doing it,
Hmm.
and we don't had like maybe about 50, 60 episodes that we have here that I still haven't downloaded here either. But I plan to. It's in the plan. So but right
Oh,
now
but
we're going through
once again, it all take care of itself. You know,
yeah, we're going through
we
YouTube now
we just
and
we
go
just
ahead.
trying to do it for the people, for the people. It ain't for us. Well,
And
it
then
is for us and for you.
we branched off and then we got our own little spiritual family text group too.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some it's our spiritual sisters. One of our sisters have a the same format. She comes on Thursday nights and on Sunday nights and on
Uh-huh.
YouTube and on Facebook.
Immersive Experience by Desilu.
Yes, Miss Desi, and I was on there Sunday for a good part, and it was good Sunday. It was
Excellent. Good.
yeah. So and then we also have Miss Visa, and she's now doing her thing that Mentor is going
Mm-hmm.
to be a part of next month. So I did post it on my page
In fact,
um,
next Saturday,
next Saturday. So tune in
two
for that
o'clock.
too. You know what, Mental? Let me. I'm gonna log off in 1 second. Go ahead and I want to see if she's still coming on. If she messaged me back, and so I'll be right
Temper
back. Okay.
for
Okay.
our guest. I got you. So, people, while we're talking, why are books like this so important to us? Because most of us, we're still suffering from the whole educational system. Most of the things that we were taught from elementary to through college was a lie. I don't know how other way to put it. That's how when Malcolm X, he started researching the truth. He started finding out everything they was talking about was a lie. So what are the things that are lie? You have your obvious things. Their Christopher Columbus discovered America. We all know he didn't discover nothing. That's an obvious one. Okay. We got all these holidays out here, but they're not really representing nothing beside what we want them to represent because we have them off. But that don't mean anything. Jesus wasn't born on Christmas. All right. Uh the Indians didn't. The Pilgrims did not do any thanks to any giving to the Indians. They did just the opposite. They gave them cloth with lice and shit in it. Man, I'm telling you, man, the real truth is tough. It's tough, and I see why they would want to cover it. They've got lakes covered. What are they covering? They're covering whole black cities that they flooded. Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was just one of the things that got caught on tape that people know about. There was many of them. So don't get it twisted. All right, but we're here now, right? Most people be saying, man, that's the past. That ain't got nothing to do with what's going on. But if you think about it, everything that we've learned as a generation, starting from when did they stop? I think around the 70s, about the 80s, they started implementing this whole we're gonna give them the opposite of what is true plan. We're gonna strip them. We're gonna make them so they won't know what's going on. They're gonna go by what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. They get you into music. Hip hop is the only musical genre that you can say you're gonna kill someone. You killing, calling hoes bitches, or women bitches, calling them hoes, degradate, making a female extra ultra sexual. All they hip hop. Now, I don't know. I know I've been on the earth quite a while now, and this right here is some strange things that they're engineering. Now, most of us can't see it because we in it. Most people don't even care. Let's not get it twisted. All right. But when you start to see the toll it takes on our people, then it becomes a whole different, it becomes sad. That's when that truth be the double-edged sword when you start to learn the truth and you start to see, oh my God, we're getting tricked at every level. Why is there no black love on television? Movies about just a black great love story. Straight out. Not with it being imposed or thought about. No, a straight out love story. Why? Because they don't fear black violence. They fear black love. Because if we unite, our power unites. If our power unites, we change the world. It's that simple. That's how much energy we flow. That's in us, and not just us of melanated people. In fact, all of us have the energy potential. It's just the bodies won't relate. That's why some of us have functional pineal glands, meaning the pineal gland that operates in us, that small gland that's very sensitive to light and frequencies. So it's your transducer of spiritual energies. When your pineal gland starts to vibrate, it's taking an energy from the cosmos, from the either the inner you or the outer you, but not your surrounding environment. That's your pineal gland. That's why it's so important. Shoot, until 1983, they never even said anything about it because they didn't know. They thought the pituitary gland was the master gland. I remember being in college, Jazzy, and I went to my bio
Chemistry.
psychology teacher. And I was like, yo, bro, you know the pituitary gland is not the master. The pineal gland is the master gland. And then he said to me, like I would expect, you've read the books that, you already read it. You already know what, da, 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 da. And I said, I'm telling you, you're wrong, sir. I know I've read it. That's why I'm telling you. I'm trying to get you right, get you on game. I'm putting you on while you fighting me. So then all we do now, this was the internet stage. So we go on the internet, I type in the pineal gland, I let him read. And he just jaw dropped. It's like, bro, everything ain't what it seems, bro. And I was knowing back then. This was 20 years ago.
Yo, okay? So, bro, before you get real deep, I want to just tell you, it's one of those things where she's not on the East Coast. So she was like, we still got an hour.
Oh,
so
we didn't even think about the time difference.
I forgot to tell her that it's Eastern time. So
standard time.
She said that she can come on at 8, so we can log off and come back. And if you're available, are you available, or I could reschedule?
I guess yeah. I mean,
it's up to you.
Yeah, I'd rather reschedule, get some fresh. Okay. I wanted to have that fresh energy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? For as far as that is concerned, but we'll keep it rolling. You know how we do. I was just telling
let me go back and tell her that we'll what's a good day? What?
Any
Sunday?
evening.
You want to come on a Sunday? It's up to you. Or you want to do the?
Well, look, we can do it.
Let me find out what's.
Why don't we see what's up for Sunday at 2? Okay. Same slot we normally do.
Okay, I'll hit you back. Hold on.
All right, go ahead. So, like I was saying, right off what I was saying. So, a lot of the stuff that we have been programmed or taught through school has been the most detriment. That's why we have to unlearn, relearn, and learn again. We have to continually purge what we're seeing, what we're hearing, because that right there is how they're infiltrating and trying to tell you what truth is. They done weaponize religion so that now the only thing, if everyone was preaching love and God was this and everything was good, why can't all the religions kind of get along and be like, okay, boom. Why there's got to be a Muhammad and a Jesus and a Zen and the Orishas? Why it's got to be so many different fractions? That's called polytheism. Okay, that's one of the 5 P's that they use to control the world. Right? Polytheism means multiple religions. Right? Penal. What is that? That's your prison system. Who's a criminal? Who ain't a criminal? Right? Politics. How do they get through in politics? You judge, you vote to see who the hell you think is going to be the president when they already done picked all that out. Then you have psychology. Who's thinking a criminal? They're going to determine what thoughts are criminal thoughts and what thoughts are normal thoughts, and people just need help. And then they classify races and they put you in certain stereotypes. What's the last one? Philosophy. They even try to tell you what is true and what it ain't true through their philosophy. That's how they control the whole world. That's called the powers of the crescent moon cycle. The 5 P's, powers of the crescent moon cycle. Read it for yourself. Write it down. Take it in. All right. Politics, polytheism, penal, psychology, philosophy. So those are the things that they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know about the precession of the equinox. That's a whole book of the Bible. All right. I mean, they don't want you to know about the the book of the Wisdom of Solomon, the Maccabees, the Urinthia book, that Medu Netter. All right, all
Mm-hmm.
of these are different books of the Bible. All of them have relevance to what is going on with us right now. They actually represent an extended version of Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
Because the
I
book of
know.
knowledge is teaching you about the next realms, where you're going, why you're going there, how you get there. What you're doing right now is basically setting you up for what you're going to be doing in the next realm.
Mm-hmm. I
How
know
you
what we
use
can
your
talk
love. Go
about.
ahead.
I know what we can talk about while we're here.
What's up?
Macabre.
The Maccabees. Well, you got the book of the Maccabees. Was it the Saint John? What is it? I can't remember.
Macabre.
The
Am I saying that
Merkaba.
right?
The Merkaba.
Merkaba. Merkaba.
The spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the Merkaba represents?
That's why I'm here.
It
I thought it
represents
was
the I am that I am.
okay.
Think about it.
I'm still studying that part. So
So the
that's
I
what I said.
am
Let's
that
talk
I
about it.
am represents the Merkaba. How you are the lower, the physical body, the consciousness that's way down on this earth is the lower triangle. So think of an inverted triangle coming
Mm-hmm.
down
Mm-hmm.
like this.
Mm-hmm.
Inverted triangle, right? That is the
Mm-hmm.
I am. That
Mm-hmm.
I am is the higher part, your higher self, your indivisible self, your
Mm-hmm.
everlasting self, the part of you that cannot die because it is not physical.
Mm-hmm.
It is a conscious energy, comes down and merges with that lower pyramid, and you get the six-figured star. They call it the Star of David.
Mm-hmm. Like on my
That's
page,
that's the right. You're
my
that's the
profile picture
that's the as above, so below.
below, right?
I am that I am. Higher
Mm-hmm.
evolution merged with lower evolution.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only merged through consciousness. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Only through consciousness. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to learn from what's going on the outside. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
learn from what's going on the inside,
Spending time with yourself.
because it's going to interpret what's going on the outside. Because if you wake up in a great mood, normally your day will be pretty good. You wake up
Right.
in a shitty mood, your day may be pretty shitty, just depending on your mood.
See, I've been on that lately. That's why I said I wanted. This might be a good time to talk about it because That's why I posted that from my profile picture, and also about the subconscious. How we always talk about that the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between, you know,
Other
joking
people.
or what do you
No,
call
yeah.
it?
It takes everything literally.
So and then so a lot of people when you say like people that say the GM word instead of Grand Rising,
Good morning.
it's
Oh,
just
morning.
yeah. So I try to eliminate that completely away from my literature,
Mhm.
So I also try to dictate. I mean, not dictate, but watch everything that I do say now. So it may make seem like I'm like in La La Land or
Nope, nope. What you got to do is, even if you want to say good morning, as long as you consciously know before you say the word, all right, I know what I'm saying, and I don't mean it the way they're trying to make it mean. You can
Mhm.
say it all day long, because it's
Yeah, I
when you
don't want to say it at all though.
listen. I'm just
I
saying.
have
Listen to what I'm saying. It's
okay.
when you say things unconsciously and you
Hmm.
don't know what they're actually saying is when it has some type of effect. When you
Hmm.
consciously know, you can pretty much say whatever you want. Because good morning, whatever. I'm not going to sit
Hmm.
there and say grand rising to everyone just because certain people, I meet them where they at.
So check it out. At my last job, since I haven't been saying it, so when they come in the AM, right? They like, hey, well, GM or whatever, and I was like, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I never say, I don't do it. I just cut it out completely. I just don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
And so
I say,
that's just me. You know what I'm saying? And like now, consciously knowing like people that say the word broke, your mind, the subconscious mind doesn't.
depending how you say right. I was watching. It's funny you say that. I was watching a little clip, and The dude was reminiscent about his father and how his father used to always be. His father was dead, but he was
Mhm.
reminiscent of and his father always used to say he was going to be a football player. Well, he was a
Mhm.
football player in the NFL, and his father
Mhm.
used to say, "Yeah, man, you my last one," because I think he had like three older brothers, something like that. He was the baby. He was like, "Well,
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to. Well, when I teach you up right, and when I get you strong and healthy, guess you're gonna have to go ahead and be that football player for me." And he was like, what's football at the time? Then when he got
Mhm.
older, he was like, yeah, I'm about to enroll you in football. He's like, yeah, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? When you get
So you
these,
got that first hit.
accolades, when he keep talking and when you get these accolades and they start, you be a beast, you keep your mind to yourself. You're still a kid. He was teaching
Mhm.
them. You know what I'm saying? But he kept
Mhm.
saying when. Then he
Mhm.
got there and he said it was tough, but he did it and he got the accolades and he just kept. And then he said, "Well, when you get to the NFL, whew, my job is over. I've done everything I needed to do to get you where you need to be and your mind to be right and make it." And then he made it to the NFL. And
Mhm.
then when he died, he realized ever since he was a kid, his dad always talked to him in when, not if.
Mhm.
Only use when.
Mhm. That's a part of the training your mind too, because the world is filled with IFs, you know. So that's the whole thing.
That's mental conditioning. Remember,
Mhm.
remember in the book of Enoch, in the book of knowledge, it was talking about mental expansion,
Mhm.
expanding the mind.
Your mind, right?
Unfortunately, what we have is just the opposite. We have
Mhm.
mental contraction.
Mhm.
You're pulling your mind into what? A small box, a movie, telling you a
Mhm.
story that's make believe, a sports product, football, basketball. You're rooting for a grown man that you ain't never seen before because he's on a team. Okay, whatever. I'm just saying. I'm just bringing it to your favorite movie, your favorite box office, soap
Mhm.
opera, your favorite
Mhm.
sports team, no matter what it is. All the money that gets spent. Think
Mhm.
about it.
Mhm.
Just wasted. None of that has nothing to do with you improving you.
Mhm.
Nothing. It's
Mhm.
just a distraction. So what has it done?
Mhm.
It takes all your mental energy and it
Mhm.
focuses into these different things. You ain't even got time to learn about the spirit or listen to the spirit or even hear it because you got so much you feel is more important. It ain't football season, but
Facts.
most people waiting on the football season right now. Can't wait. Today
Hey,
is just passing them by while they waiting on the football season.
and don't get me wrong. I love my team. I love the sport. However, when I think it was last year, when my game was on or whatever, and then we set the time for 2 o'clock on Sunday, and then I
Uh,
remember I had the game. I was sitting in front of the game so I could still see it. You
mhm.
know what I mean? But I was still engaging here, and then I heard the spirit was just like, turn that shit off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Look, if you want, you can watch all the replays. You gonna
replays or
find, you know
whatever
what
you
I'm
want.
saying. If you missed the whole game, really, that don't mean
So
anything.
so that's
But
the
go
whole
ahead.
thing is a lot of people think like oh because your team ain't doing good, this, that, or whatever. It had really nothing to do with that. It's just spiritually I just wasn't connected unless it was outside of my time zone. Like if I was at work at night and I was sitting there, because when I was at work, I used to do everything. I used to watch TV, watch movies, everything, talk to you, do podcasts.
Hmm.
I had more time, but like when we decided to go at 2 o'clock, it was just like, okay, all the football, everything else, that
Yeah.
I mean, it's and I love my team. You know what I'm saying? It's just so happened that they didn't do good, but that had nothing to do
Oh
with
my
me. And
God,
I'm
he's
just,
a Patriots fan, y'all. He's just going through the down Brady years, bro. You ain't
nah,
gonna win
nah,
another championship for a
nah.
long time, so get used to it.
And Maury said that too is a lie.
Oh, but it'll get you. You'll get so caught up,
Yeah,
and now instead of you talking to your brother about some real spiritual stuff, you talk about the game, what the beef that what is it the music battle that's going on. You talk about everything else
thing
or
else, but
concerned about everything else, but what's
mhm.
really important?
And you know what's really important right now is what we're talking about right now too. So I've learned to go ahead and then like a lot of times people challenge me even on social media and stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just like at this point, it really doesn't. None of this is detrimental to my life. You know what I mean? So it's just like people be challenging me, oh, this you ain't that or this. And I'm like, dude, it's just like I'm in a whole totally different space now. You know what I'm saying? Like the person you knew me as yesterday, even an hour ago, I'm still not that person anymore. You
Mm.
know what I mean? A lot of I'm constantly evolving into, spiritually what I need to be. So that's the one thing is just like it's either I know something or I don't. There's no in
That,
between. You know what I'm saying? There's no sitting there to go
well,
ahead where I'm going to
that's
make up a
when
lie.
you come off belief and you start to say, hold on, what do I really know about this subject? What don't I know? You know something? I
I
don't
don't
really
know
know
nothing.
about marine biology, underwater, and how the octopuses. I don't know. I can
I
firmly say
don't know.
I know they squirt ink. How they do it, I do not know. I can say that, but I'm
Right.
not going to say I believe that the ocular gland within the thorax causes the
Hey,
squirting of mucus type spit.
hey, yeah, the thing is, you know what? The thing is just that when you know who you are, you don't really have to validate or try to prove something to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the thing right there. Is just that you know what? I know who I am, and I know spiritually where I am. So it's like to go ahead and just engage or to keep make up something which will be a lie. The one thing I'm not gonna do is lie. You know
We
what I'm
already
saying?
talked about it.
You can talk a lot of
If
shit
you're
about me. Oh,
authentic, if you're authentic, that's the next step up from love. Because
mm,
love, you need love to be authentic. But when you're
right.
authentic, you're now in your love,
Hmm.
speaking and talking and being you. Capital L love.
L,
Because it's
capital
a
L.
consciousness that goes with it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Whenever you capitalize on the capital light, that means it's a conscious light. It's not just the
Hmm.
light that you turn on, and it's a conscious light. It has
Hmm.
a conscious function. And
Hmm.
these are the principles that we go over in the book of knowledge that we need to know. We need to know that just because the scientists said everything, the electrons, everything moves on a thing, and it seems all those things are conscious entities.
Hmm.
All right. They're conscious of the job that they're doing. They're playing a role at
Hmm.
the cellular level.
Hmm.
That's why I said you can speak when you have knowledge of self or knowledge of cells, you can speak to your cells. You can be healthy.
I had a friend of mine. She called me and she was like, well, she didn't call me. She inboxed me and she was like, you know what? Do y'all have any um holistic practitioners there in Iraq? And I was
Mhm.
like, wow, I didn't know. Guess what? I went today. It's so many. I mean, it was like pages and pages when I looked it
So
up.
what does that
So I'm
tell
like,
you?
it's here.
No, but what does that tell you? Look at the
But
flip side of it.
mm,
Pages and pages.
but a lot of them says like PhD. You know what I'm saying? They got certifications. I don't know yet. That I don't. I'm not
So
gonna lie. I don't know. But
you're going
I'm
to
just
tell
saying that.
me of when we're dealing with the spirit, the unseen world,
Hmm.
and you're dealing with someone that's so no, I'm a spiritual, bro. I work with your spirit. I work with your attitude. I work
Hmm.
with your likes and your dislikes because that's what's fucking you up.
Hmm.
Against someone that's saying no, I go across the script of Freud and the rest of these cats that was born in 19
I get
or
what you're saying,
nineteen
but you know what the
seventeen
thing is?
17. But hold on, just let me
Go
say
ahead.
it.
Go ahead. Go
There
ahead.
is a script
Hmm.
that yeah, you can do something, but most of the work is with the person. So you can work. I was just reading this book, Natural Healing and Counseling.
Hmm.
I think that's the name, Natural Healing and Counseling. And what it
Hmm.
basically do is shows you how if you are dealing with certain things, this is how you have to, your body is telling you something.
Hmm.
If you have a headache, your body is telling you
Right.
something.
Right.
If you can't control your eating, your body is
Hmm.
telling you something.
Hmm.
Okay, we need to listen to it and communicate with. Here we go again. Knowledge of self, knowledge of self.
Hmm.
Communicate with your body because it's trying to tell you a signal to you. This is what we need to do.
Hmm.
This is how
So
we can do this. But most
I
of us
just
are so not in tune. We go where? We go running straight to the
to
doctor,
the doctor. Yeah.
to the how sick people.
Hmm. So what I did this week, like my daughter been selling her old clothes and toys to the buyback place, right?
Oh, that's
So
what's up.
whatever, yeah. So whatever yo, dude, she made almost $200 with me selling her bracelets. But then like her old clothes and stuff like that. Each time we go, it's like they give her $100. It's like, oh, just because her stuff is always like new.
Uh-huh.
So the last time we went, well, every time we go, like the stuff that they don't buy, we go over to the Goodwill. So this past weekend, I said, you know what? I seen some books in the Goodwill. I got 3 holistic healing books out of there, yo, for $1.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I'm
There
saying?
you
So I
go.
was like, I said, you know what? I said, because when I went there, I was like, I seen all the books that they have. You know what I was looking for? I was looking for that book that we use on Sundays. So you know
Uh,
what I'm saying?
um, which one?
The book of Enoch.
Oh.
Because you know a lot
Nah,
of times people,
you ain't gonna
hey,
see that, bro.
hey,
No,
you know
I'm
what?
telling you, if
You
you
know,
can get a hold of a copy of the Book of Enoch, the Book of Knowledge, the Keys of Enoch, if you can get a hold of it, I'm telling you, grab it. I've had this book, oh my God,
hey, but you know
for
how I
over
do.
20 years.
You know how I do. I will stuff. Remember, I told you I was like,
Boom. Oh no, it's out there, but you gotta pay a heavy price for it.
hey,
And
but I'm just
then
saying
it's
it
so
might
deep.
be in that spot. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot
It-
of times people, I'm not gonna put nothing past anything. I'm going by
you-
like
You're
used
not going
bookstores.
only because of the type of book it is. It's not a
Mm,
regular book. It's a
mhm.
book that someone had to actually know what it is, know what it's about, and actually order it and buy it.
But
They're
you know
not going to
what?
give. Listen. They're not going to give it away. What they'll give it to family, and it may trickle down to a person to be like, I don't even want this book, and maybe, but
I'm
that'll be the
I'm,
spirit
I'm
working.
gonna tell you why. Brother Haru, he had those books. He donated them to the Goodwill.
Wow, he had the Book of Enoch. I
No,
mean, the
he
Book of
had the
Knowledge.
no, he had the other book that we read in the book 1, 2, and 3. He read. Remember we was at
Oh, the
um
Metu Netter.
Matter Netter. He
Metu Netter.
donated
Yeah.
those. I'm just saying he donated. I'm just saying people do it all the time. So you know me, I will something in my life, and by the time I come out here next week and I'm say, mental, guess what? Remember you were saying that it ain't no way this, that, or whatever. When I will stuff in my life, that it happens, man. Just
And,
like the
and
Matter Netter.
and I take it back. You're absolutely right. But you're working with magic. You've learned to circumvent the physical laws. That's what
Mm-hmm.
magic is. That's what the Jedi are using the Force, learning to circumvent physical laws.
Because
But
that's
the
what happened with the
problem
Matter
is,
Netter.
a
Remember
lot
the
of the
Matter?
physical laws we were taught are incorrect.
Mm.
That's the issue. It ain't that we cheating or that we doing something else. It's just that we know that what you've been taught is a lie, and we know how to circumvent the lie, so it makes it look like we doing miracles when we're not.
The
It's a
last
science
year,
project.
last year at the end of the year, when you was like, man, I'm gonna just, I'll just go ahead and get the book for you. And remember, but before you said that, I said, you know what? I'm gonna tell Spirit I want the book. I said I'm gonna
Mhm.
will it into my life. I told you that. Then you was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna just buy you the damn book, right? Then what happened? You buy it, and then what happened? You keep it, right? And then I said,
I was
it
gonna
don't
give
matter.
it to you when I was done. I just wanted to read it. No, remember I bought it because it was cheap. Then I went to get another one, and it was like $400 more for some
Right,
reason, and I
right.
couldn't believe it.
But look at what happened. I still got it as a gift.
Right, you got it as a gift. Right. Well, that's that
And
spirit
then,
taking a few
and
steps
and,
towards you.
and then, not only that, when you was like, "Yo, Jazzy, I found the cards. I found the cards." Right. And then I was like, "Man, I want those cards." I said, "But you know what? I'm gonna will it into my life." What did that? What happened? They sent
Yeah.
you 2 copies.
They, I paid 200 and something dollars for these doggone Oracle cards because you can't really find the right ones. The right ones are so expensive. So I paid $200. Normally they're around about 100. No, maybe no, they're around about 185, 90
There
bucks.
was there was a
About
hundred and something. I
85, 90
remember.
bucks. So
Hmm.
I paid about 225, all said and done, boom, 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 maybe even 250. I can't remember, but I paid it. And I was like, wow. who got him and started working them and was like, oh, I remember now. All the energy came back. So now I done put them up, wrap them up, put them back because I feel the energy back with me. Why in the mail next few days, another pack of the same cards came in?
Yeah, cough those up. Send those back to me.
And I said, yeah, you coming in July so I can hand them to you.
Okay.
Ain't no use for sending. I can just hand them to you now.
All right.
But that was the way the spirit works. So
I will
in the spirit realm, you don't need anything but what is a good word? Not concentration. All you need is to have that right spiritual conscious thought, that energy that works into the spirit, that activates what you got. If you believe something's gonna happen so blindly, I don't care what it is. If you believe it so strong, it will happen in a certain type of way. It will happen.
That's what's been happening all year. I've been willing everything from new job, everything, new vehicle, everything. I've been willing it. I just been, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
and what we're saying is join the club, people. Start willing your shit to happen. Now, don't get it twisted without shadow work, without getting down with the truth. All right. Without lying to yourself. All these are prerequisite. No. How do you say it, Jasmine? All these are needed
requisites.
There we go. All these are needed before you can start opening up yourself. Once you're true to yourself, you can talk to yourself honestly. I was an asshole the other day. I need to go apologize. Or I was an asshole. You know, I'm not going to do that no more. That made me feel bad. Start really getting to know you, not the you that everybody thinks you are. That's that's the puppet. All they see is the puppet. They don't really see the you. The you is the inside you.
But the one thing though, you know what? It's just like, but the whole thing is, it's about being obedient too. Because when you hear spirit say, okay, time to cut this off. Don't do this no more. Go another route.
That's a deeper progression because the spirit of truth talks to all of us. Some of us listen. Some of us can't listen. Don't get it twisted. They can talk all they want, but if you ain't listening, you ain't listening. Because there's a difference between hearing something and listening to it. You get so accustomed to not listening to something that's trying to tell you to do the right thing. Let's be real, Jack. Don't go to that party. It's always trying to cut off. When in our realm, it feels like it's always trying to cut off the party, what the fun we're having. It's always trying to say, don't have no fun. But really, it's trying to say, no, this is the right way for you to live your life. So you can be safe and secure and flourish.
I was just talking to my son before I got on with you, you know, about like certain things. And then he asking me and I'm like, I just don't have the desire, or I don't do those things, or I don't even think on those terms. You know what I mean? And it's just like, even as far as like, you know, he dealing in music and stuff now. And you know, with me, I'm retired. You know what I'm saying? So when people talk to me and they something, you know what? We get the studio, this, that, or whatever. I'm just like, I'm done with that life. You know what I'm saying? And then
finished.
I mean, I had a guy call me, and last week, a guy from Texas that moved back here, phenomenal producer. Oh, I told you, I'm gonna hook you up with him. Producer. He's like, yo, don't you? I'm like, I just don't want to do it no more. That part of anything, I just don't have the desire. It's just that, I don't know. It's just like a part that was taken away from me. It's just like, you know what? Because while I was doing that, I messed up a lot of part of my life with that too. You know what I mean? It comes with good stuff, but then it comes with, and you got to be prepared. And right now I'm in my right state of mind, but back then I was enjoying it and I was doing the work. But now I'm older. I don't have time for the nonsense part of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
well, you got to remember everything comes in time. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes in time.
That time has passed, my brother.
Time, slow down. What did we say before? We control time. We make time do what it do.
That's true.
So if you want to be a producer right now, if it's still a thread that burns in you, I remember 5 Point production. You did it at a high level.
Yeah.
Your shit was popping.
Yeah.
I remember the lines out the door. And it's so funny, y'all. We've known each other for so long. I was one of his artists. I remember walking past the line and hearing the people, how they get to go past the line and just walk.
Hey. Yo, that boundaries, man, it went from here to like, like overnight.
What happened? Why did y'all stop going? Was it a shooting, a fight?
You know what? I am most grateful that I not ever had any of those kind of incidents at any of the events that I did.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to the Most High for grace, peace, and love. However, what happened? The owner at the time, he was getting greedy and everything, and then he wanted to expand the place, and then he was like, then he, so we went through a little bit of things like that. I'm gonna have to close down for remodel, this, that, or whatever.
You destroying the show. The show is popping right now.
So after that
was crazy. He had a link. He could have charged more at the door. He could have did anything to make up the money.
But he did. After I left, then he started letting DJs come in, and then they turned to this place called Secrets, and then it just,
spiraled into nothing.
So what happened after that? The guy that did sound for me while I was in there, he's like, I got a new club that's opening up in a couple weeks. You can have any night during the week or whatever. And it didn't matter to me at that time. I was getting people to come out. If you was coming out on Sunday, you'll come out on a Monday. You'll come out on Tuesday, Wednesday. It didn't even matter anymore. So after that,
you know what type of show you getting.
So I chose Wednesday night at the Club Marquee.
Okay, I remember.
Marquee, and then so I was doing Wednesday nights, and then what happened with that was it was getting so big that DKX, the local radio station here, they was promoting like all these free commercials for us and everything.
Wow.
And so, they was coming on there, and I don't want to say the DJ's name at the time, but they was like, they had a little rhyme. They was beatboxing. You got to come down to and doing all these free commercials. And I already knew in the back of my mind it comes with a price. Everything comes with a price.
Yeah.
So what happened was we was getting so big on Wednesdays that they were coming down there and they was doing live the radio from inside the place on Wednesday nights. And so what happened? The owner of the radio station came and he was like, "Look, I'm gonna take Thursday nights, and then what you'll do, what you can do is like keep doing your talent thing and pick a winner, and then Thursday nights I'll bring a major artist." So what would happen, like on my Wednesday night, people were singing and doing whatever, and then so they would open up like for Genuine at the time.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. Right, I remember that. I remember that.
He was bringing everybody. So basically, you're partying for like up until 12, and then the major artists will come on and maybe do like 3 songs or whatever. But they had a connection where they was bringing new artists and stuff like that. So it worked good. So what happened? This is what happened with this. Like I said, it's always a price with this stuff. Okay, so what happened? He got to the point where I was making money, and then he was making money, and then he was like, "Look, what I need from you is I need 75% of your door."
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
I was like, "What?"
So he wants all your money then, basically.
He said, I'll make sure that I do all free commercials and all of this stuff. And I was like, "I don't need you." I said, "We already been popping without you." Yeah. Right. So he was like,
"It wasn't you that built us."
So what he did, he went to the owner. It was like, "I want to turn this into a reggae night, and I'll give you free promotions, this, that, right there," and it eased me out.
Wow.
He changed
something? Tenfold. So this is how I look at that whole thing. What was the lesson? What was the spiritual lesson that you were being taught through that whole journey? Because it was a lesson whether you got it or not.
It was time to go. It was time to go, because you know what? After I left, then that place started. Then they was fighting. They start shooting outside, this, that, or
Uh,
whatever, whatever. So
there it
you know
is,
what I'm
that
saying.
bull.
So so I mean, so the thing is just like you know how it is here. You can only do something so long because they're bored up here. I
It's
mean,
not necessarily. The good thing about when you did it, you had a class about your shit.
yeah,
You didn't have a
yeah,
hood vibe with it. Everybody knew, oh no, these tickets is $25, $30, player. We don't play that.
mm,
Or you know what I'm saying? This is this.
right.
This is
But
this. So
but you
and and not say that it couldn't happen, but I think you had a
right,
better the atmosphere that you set was right on. So
and
it
that's
wasn't
what I.
gonna allow that to happen. But go ahead.
That's the thing with me. It's just like I can't just do anything. I just can't put DJs up on the stage. Like especially if you got hip hop DJs, you're gonna bring the wrong crowd. Just that's just what happens here. But however, I
No,
did
it's the
live music.
music. What look at if you got a urban hip hop DJ, the music he plays is
It's going to
detrimental to
be
you even bringing them in. You might as well
so.
go ahead and say just give them guns at the door.
I learned early that this is the key thing to if you want to have something here. The key thing to people don't like to listen, but if you give somewhat a dress code, you know what I'm saying? First of all, where the women don't, where they kind of feel safe that they
Yep,
you ain't got
dress code.
so some type of dress code. They don't want to do it. Oh, that ain't going to deter nothing. I didn't have any issues at any. I did like over. I did hundreds of shows here. You know what I'm saying? I not had not no issues.
Did you have an age limit?
Yeah, I did Asian, but not at boundaries. Boundaries, but you know what I'm saying. But I had killers as security guard. You know what I'm saying? So
I had my security right.
yeah, so you know what I'm saying. So it was beyond just security. They was just like street dudes that everybody knew not to come in there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I got
So
you. I know what you're saying.
so what happened at but when you go ahead and the environment, the key things here, what you need to do is that you have to go ahead and have some type of live music because you know what that deters the gangsters. They don't want to come and hear live music for some
Yeah.
reason. If they don't. They
You
won't
say
come
live
to.
music, you done scared them away.
They don't. They don't. That's the kryptonite. They don't like live bands. They don't like
Mhm.
live music. They want to hear a DJ yelling. Yo. And that's what they want. So, but those kind of crowds. What I used to tell people, I was like, I don't understand why they just don't go to the warehouse. Because what happened at that time, they used to destroy
What
the.
type of spirit you think was operating? Well, that's kind of
With you already
self
know.
explanatory. Yeah,
You already know.
because of
So,
the lyrics and stuff. Yeah,
I mean, and it's
and I
no
try to
good. I
tell
mean,
my kids now. I try to tell them, yeah, the music you listen to is not helping you. I sat
mm-mm,
there with my kid, and I work at a juvenile detention center, so I sat there with my kids, and we're watching all female videos.
mm-mm,
Every video on there had half naked women shaking and
mm-mm,
twerking. No Lauren Hill classy sitting back, your old Queen Latifah, none of that.
mm-mm,
And then the
mm-mm.
ones that was closed up, their mouth was just so filthy. You might as well have no clothes on. You know what I mean, jeez. No lyrical
Hey,
content, no nothing. And then you got
it's
these young girls listening to that, wanting to go hear that bullshit at the concert. It's
hey,
crazy.
it doesn't
Chaotic.
fail. People that actually go ahead and they do the hip hop scene and everything like that. No hip hop. I can tell you only the one thing that lasted the longest, and that was what Sean Do had down on St. Paul Street. His was the
Yeah.
longest lived. But
Hmm.
outside of him, but he had like 50 security guards. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with his
Real
method was
policeman.
Well, his method was his was 18 and over, 21 for guys, right? Every day somebody's turning 18. And you know what I'm saying? So going into the club life, he always had a revolving door with people coming in at 18. You see
I
what I'm
see what
saying?
you're saying.
So every even by the time they like, man, it's too kiddie now. I ain't going here or whatever. Then you have older people that still go down there. But however, somebody's always turning 18 and they've never been out. So he was able to lock in on that. That was very genius of him. But what I did, what I did, I was always looking at it for the ladies aspect. Lady want to come down, sit down, chill, have candles and glass of wine and stuff like that, and sit there and listen to a live show. So that was my avenue. But as far as any promoter here, actually none of them really last longer than 6 months because they play once you play hip hop,
It just played out. Yeah. Or
it's
yeah.
not even hip hop, it's just a rap. You know what happened when I did that
Well,
back in the 90s when I did the one night at Eclipse. And remember I had
yeah.
that it was going to be
Lot.
the open mic. Yo, we was doing it
Mm-hmm.
for a couple weeks. I mean, it was so fire. I had like East Side dudes coming, West Side, everybody
Yeah.
was crowded in
Food.
there.
It was nice.
Yo, the DJ, then you go ahead and go
Well,
back
you
and
know what it
forth and
was? You got me and Scoot in there, and the night we were going to rip. I mean, all week. Because remember, we went in there and you just had us go, man, if you just got something, just go play it. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Even if you mess
right,
it up, just go play it. Just go play it.
right,
So
right.
I really wasn't as prepared as Scoot. You know, Scoot come with a mic in his damn back pocket. But I had my lyrics, so we did it. But the next week, bro, I swear, we was gonna tear it down, bro. We was
and
gonna
that, and
really
you
rip it out.
and they literally tore it down.
And they literally
You know what I'm saying?
shots in
So
the
it's
window.
it's just hard, man. It's just hard with it's
Oh,
and then
but it's destiny. It's saying, nope, we don't want you to do that. Nope,
actually,
we don't
it
want you
wasn't
to do
even
that.
shots. What happened was nobody shot or anything. What happened? The guy, the owner, just went ahead and redid the bathrooms all over. So somebody went in the bathroom, and then the towel, the towel racks and everything. They grabbed it, ripped everything off the
Oh
wall, and
no, I
start throwing.
remember he destroyed it, and he didn't want to have that night anymore
Yeah,
because
he was.
one
Yeah,
person messed it up. I remember. Yeah, I remember.
yeah. So I didn't
Yeah,
have
I
any
remember.
issues where it was like fighting or anything, but they went in there and they destroyed the man bathroom. I was just like, what in the world?
Mm.
You know, and it was getting
Well,
so
but
good,
I'm
man.
saying at every instance, like you said, there was something stopping you. Like no, but think about it. If you would have made it to be a big you wouldn't be where you're at now.
Right.
You'd be off doing that in the industry, doing the doing
Yeah.
the
And then
puff daddy.
I had many opportunities to do all of that stuff too. But then when I read the fine line, you know what I'm saying? The devil was in the details. So
In the
I was like,
details.
I mean, that's what people
Always.
don't understand. Everybody always want to go ahead and make it big, but there's a price to pay for all of that.
Or you can walk away.
And as I did,
I mean, you have a choice. You
like
always have a choice. Because if
that's
you're hot, you can still no. That sometimes they'll give you options where you can make the money or you can be famous. Either
man,
way, there's a penalty. Now,
I was flying out all over the place. I mean, that's why I said like our town is so it's so small. So the mind frame here, people don't really understand. Like the stuff that I was doing it back in the 90s and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like now when I see it, I go the opposite way. When they say, "Oh, we're gonna DJ this," I go, "Urgh." You know what I'm
well,
saying?
only
I'm going,
because shit done got so violent, it ain't really safe. I'm
yeah,
with you, bro. It ain't really safe
yeah,
to go into any urban young hip hop. Hell no. Them
mm-mm.
motherfuckers don't know how to act.
They don't, especially
Don't
in
know how to
all
act.
those different. So you got today. What the thing is, you got young people
No,
that's
but
actually
no, but hold on. The question should be, why don't they know? I was just thinking about this. I think I was watching something on this on how these kids now have they don't want to learn from the
bless you.
from their parents. They don't want to hear it. The only thing they
Mm-hmm,
look up to is rappers
mm-hmm,
and famous motherfuckers. Money's motherfuckers with
mm-hmm.
money. Those the only person
Social
they'll take
media.
any advice with. And
Mm-hmm.
then when the rapper's spitting out this bullshit, get that money,
See,
get this, do that.
you know what the difference with ours is because a lot of we had an offset because we had a lot of conscious rappers back. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's really none right now. You know what I'm
No,
saying? So
now you know that gangster rap was engineered into the game. Let's not
yeah,
get it
right,
twisted.
right,
When the
right.
when the hip hop mobiles, they said, you know something, we can kill two birds with one stone. We can get all these
Mm-hmm,
niggas to go to jail as we
mm-hmm,
promote only gangster hip hop. And what do you have
mm-hmm.
right now? The majority of all the rappers is this bullshit ass gangster hip hop.
And they dying.
That's what they preaching.
I
Remember,
just watched.
we just talked about what you say means something. So you out
Right.
here rapping these lyrics over and over again about death,
Mm-hmm,
and then you die and you wonder why.
mm-hmm.
It's
And
coming
you know
from
my
your own mouth.
I was listening to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was like the hooks in songs and the way songs are set up. It's actually you're putting a curse on yourself by repeating it.
If
Michael
you're not
Jackson
saying the
said it.
right stuff,
He,
you're
he
putting
said
right.
he's
You're not saying,
so
because
you.
how many times you have to go through a song to actually memorize it, to have it in the back of your mind right, where you could wake up in the middle of the night and spit it. You see
He
what I'm
said
saying?
you're putting a mantra on yourself. I was just like,
Yes.
hey. Michael Jackson said this way back then. He was like, yeah, he's like,
Remember,
so
I
it's
told you I would never use my stuff to get women. I'd never use it for anything. I would just give you the pure, uncut. This is what it is.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
9 times a day, it had nothing to do with money, power, gold, prestige, none of that.
mm-hmm.
And I knew
Hey,
it was when I brought it
just
out.
like
It
your
was
book. It's just like your book. You didn't even, you know what I'm saying? You was just like, look, you wanted to just give it away. And I was just
this is
like,
what it is. This to get you that level one,
just to go
overstanding
ahead and,
darkness. That's
right,
level one. Look, but look, Jazzy, that's just level one,
right,
part
right,
one of one.
right.
Getting your mind together, getting your thoughts together, gathering up your strength, your inner
Mm,
strength, because you about to fight a war. Don't get
mm-hmm,
it twisted.
right.
People like to jump into the spirit and think it's easy. It is not easy. It's a war
No.
against yourself. But
Yeah,
once you
yeah.
win, all things now are granted to you.
See, and the thing though too, it was the part about when you first. Hold on, let me turn this light on. Hold on 1 second, okay, Mental. Keep talking.
Mhm.
I'm here. I'm just got to turn
Yeah.
this light on.
Once you go through that night, it's a night of storm, y'all. It's one of those that, I mean, you really battling the demons that you created for you, that are now against you, that you're fighting against. That's what's happening.
Right. So
So
that's the part right there. Is just that once you become enlightened, so like it's you can go like two ways. It gets to a point where you just like some people can be afraid. Like if you
yeah,
like that, like they said that's why I said is like when you get too much information at once, it's just best to take your time. But when you first start out, the first thing you want to do is I want to know more. I want to know more. I want to know more. And then you start reading everything. You start watching lectures. You start finding more spiritual people. I mean, and that's fine and dandy. That's what But some people they go and then they see something and then it spooks them without, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen that.
that's another part. You got to get rid of the fear. You
Right.
can't get into this spiritual stuff being frightened and afraid. There's no access, because as soon
Mm,
as you get spooked or frightened or afraid, if you're in a dream and the dream is trying to teach you something and you become afraid, it kicks you out the dream.
mm,
That's why they use
mhm,
fear as their number one tactic. What do
mhm,
most people fear? Hell, dying and
mhm,
going to hell if they are doing
mhm.
good.
Or
So
monsters.
but think about it. Even their good that they do, they're not doing good because they want to do good. They're doing good because they don't want to go to hell.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's
Hmm.
two different goods.
Hey, if
One
you
is
took
being
that,
willed. The other one is, ooh, I just don't want to go to jail, so I'm gonna be good because I want to eat tonight or whatever. So those are two different doing things. Being willing to do good and being coerced to do good are two different goods. If
mhm.
the other one, if being coerced is even a good at all.
And see, when I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, like, right? So what happened was you would get the pastor that preaches fire and brimstone.
Mm-hmm.
So that one that just hell, 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 hell. That's that's when the church really expanded between the probably the 50s and the late 80s was when people were spooked into going ahead and going to church. Okay, but like after the 90s, people started getting a little bit more, relaxed and stuff. Then they came with that prosperity, like in the 90s, where you got like um, Bishop Long, the guy down in what's the other one, Creflo Dollar. All these people that's
Mhm.
preaching, oh, you can be blessed through money, and that so that changed the whole game, you know. And then see now you got more people, especially after the pandemic, where it's like you can just sit home and you can watch, you know.
Yep.
So a lot of church
Well,
attendance has went
pandemic
down,
changed everything because
changed
it
everything.
showed that you didn't really need the church
Hmm.
to go to the church to be
You can watch
blessed.
it online, yeah. And then that's what the biggest problem is now. A lot of churches are suffering because they're not getting that financial money that they once did. You know, like because people used to come there and then they
Well,
do more than one offering,
when
two or
we
three
were
offerings.
young, I don't know how your church worked. I don't know if the band, none of the people in the band was ever getting paid. None of that was happening.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, it
None of
wasn't.
that was
No,
happening. No one was
it
getting
wasn't.
paid for. They all was
Hey,
volunteering. So that always kept the overhead low because everybody was volunteering their service. You
services,
know what I'm
and
saying?
then most of the time, if the church, it was you were related to somewhere where you had to go ahead and play.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I say around, I start hearing money like 90-ish. You know, like because I
Mm.
remember the organist at our church, he was getting like $500 a Sunday, and that was like the 1990s or something like that. And he
Five
played it like
hundred dollars?
back
Wow.
then. And he was working at three churches. He was playing at a Catholic church, he was playing at our church, and then he played at another church.
Nick,
So
that's all he did. Three churches, 1,500. That's my whole gig.
I
Wow.
know for a fact, and he had like a little part-time job where he was like in a clothing store. I know because me and him used to hang out like this back when I was right out of high school. You know what I'm saying? So I know he used to tell me, he's like, yeah, I got to, and I used to church hop with him. And then so yeah, he played at three services, and
Mm.
so after that, and then that's when people started because at that time you was if you did pay anybody, you was only paying the keyboardist, the organist,
Right. The organist,
and
right. Because he
then
was
the
a
drummer.
mainstay, but he'd be there all week long.
Then the drummer started getting paid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because a lot of churches back then, you only had a keyboard player, an organist, and a drummer. You know, and then if you were blessed to have a bigger church where you had a guitar player and a bass
Yeah.
guitar player,
Or
but so
someone in
then
the church played it and just volunteered.
that's how it was though. When I grew up, it was just like, dude, you go here, you play. You know what I'm saying? So, but now it's just like everybody gets paid. You know what I'm saying? And you got musicians that actually go, they'll move out of state and move somewhere else because somebody found out that they got the skills and they'll hire them. I've seen musicians move to Atlanta, to Texas. The
Wow.
dude, the guy that I'm telling you about right now, he was in Texas at some of the biggest churches down there, and then he back here now. You know what I'm
Mega
saying?
church getting paid.
Yep. And then I remember the first time I went into a mega church. This was in '97. I went down to Creflo Dollar Church. I was down in Atlanta and I was visiting, and then my homeboy he an organist and he played like a couple churches and that's what he do. And then he was like, yo, he's like, we're gonna ride around. I'm gonna take you to Bible study. I was like, Bible study. He's like, trust me, you're gonna like it. Why get there, yo? On a Wednesday night, yo, I'm telling you, it was like a coliseum, and people they had the sheriff outside telling you where to park, everything. It was that many people, and they were
Damn.
all young. It was a hangout, yo. So I was like, I was blown,
Occult.
and Creflo was getting that dollar, boy.
Oh no, his shit, nigga. When he said he needs a spaceship to go to the moon or wherever, come on, bro, stop it.
Hey, but you know what the thing is? Like I remember going there. I think it was his church. You go in there, they had an ATM back then,
In his
and then
church, yeah, I remember that. You never had that.
they
And
was
who do
doing
you
the
think owned the
credit report.
ATM?
Yeah,
The church.
yeah. He was
So
doing
they
the
getting
credit
money
report.
as you getting money.
He
You're
was
right. They
doing,
wanted your credit report on. I mean, I ain't giving you nothing, bro.
yo, it
I,
was crazy. So, but I say that maybe the last couple of years, he just finally came out and he said everything that he taught on tithing, he wanted everybody to forgive him, because he felt that he was wrong, but he ain't getting none of
but
that
he didn't
money
get the
back
money back.
though.
It's a shame how they do us, boy. It's a
Yo, so
shame. So
so
when it
you know
all
what?
goes back to what I was saying when you wasn't on, of how we get treated all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because of lack of knowledge of self. Not because of lack of money, not because of lack of cars and women and gold. No, knowledge of who we are. And
Right.
when we started Car Talk, that's what we originally started was um, I was actually helping Jazzy with his shadow work.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it all started in
Mm-hmm.
therapy.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing shadow work, just helping him
Mm-hmm.
out, getting him to where he needs to be. You know what
I
I'm
remember,
saying?
and see, you know what the funny thing is, because like I used to call and talk to you before, and then you be trying to go ahead and spit it or whatever. Me, you, and Scoot on the phone back,
Uh,
and you know, so and then the time when I said, you know what, hey, the light clicking now. I was like, Scoot. I was like, he said, man, I'm telling you, talk to Mike. And then I heard the voice. It was like, call Mental and talk to him. I said, and then it wasn't only that. It was clear. It was like, call, talk to him, tell him that you want him to go ahead and be a like, sit under him as a spiritual advisor right now. And I remember the first time I told you, you was like, nigga, you don't need me.
you don't need me. You got the spark, nigga. You good.
Nah, but you know what? But throughout the whole journey of this whole thing, you know what was powerful when you was like, yo, bro, you know what? It was meant for you to come because the things you helped me to remember things that I forgot,
Yep.
and you helped me to go
Facts.
ahead. You helped me with my spiritual journey as well. So that's how I knew that it was divine when that
Right.
when that came
You help
because
me
it's
put
just
things in better perspective.
mm,
Because when you talk about, remember, we rarely get time as well. Me and you can talk about it because we have that, but most people don't have anyone they can talk real high spiritual concepts with.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? Because it's so
hmm
against what everybody else thinks and believes, and that's what put us in a world and not
and
of it.
out of it.
Because our mindset is not of this world.
Hmm
Looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good.
hmm
So our mindset is in the inner us, and this inner us is a more vast, energetic, powerful world that we
hmm
found. And
hmm
now we're trying to interlace this inner us and the outer us. That's the I am of the lower body with the I am of the spiritual body.
hmm
Being united as one.
hmm
Okay, this is the process of spiritualization, of being
hmm
spiritualized, being born again.
hmm
You're being born again. Why? Because now your whole thought process is different. You become
hmm
born again when you change your whole thought process. Your mom dies. The love, you loved her so much, she dies. Nothing's the same after your mom dies. A piece of you or the world shifted, or your dad dies, or your daughter dies. Someone, something happens to you that's so horrific or so bad that you just can't take it. You get through it, but after it, the world ain't the same no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Is just that that's when certain major event things happen, it changed your whole perspective about life. Even money don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. You don't even care about your job. You don't care about nothing. You
Nothing.
know,
None of that
I
means
mean,
anything anymore. Because
because
what it does actually do, it puts you back into the right perspective.
hmm
Now you're back at baseline. I don't give a fuck about
hmm
none of this shit.
hmm
So then what do you got to do? Well, what do you give a fuck about? See what I'm
hmm
saying? Now you got
hmm
to rebuild yourself.
hmm
That's the shadow work. Because now
hmm
shit from your past gonna want to come back in the rebuild. You got to be like, oh hell no,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
oh hell
that's
no,
the
you ain't coming
but
back in
see,
the rebuild.
but
No
that's what I
sir,
was telling.
I'm gonna
That's
be
what I was
better.
telling you. That's what I was telling you about the music scene thing with me. It's just like it just has a. It's just like I'm like no. The only thing I would actually do at this point is just do shows, live shows. I don't want to do the studio work no more. I don't want to manage people.
I
I don't
mean,
want.
if I wanted you as my manager, you wouldn't do it for me.
I got you, bro. We'll do it
I mean,
together.
I'm telling you, if I get in the right place, well, I probably when I get in the right place and make the right moves, when I do it, I'm telling you, I got a whole plan. I'm just waiting, being patient. Spirit
Hmm.
got something coming. It's coming for both of us. Don't worry. You said it before,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's coming. All right.
Hey,
So I'm
you
not
gotta
worried
what you
about
gotta
that.
do how you gotta do how I did it. Do it. Will that bad boy. Like
Hey,
just it's not
you look.
it's not it's
Remember,
not
I told
it's
you
not
I
if
don't
it's
even I
when.
don't even call on the altars no more. I don't do none of that. Everything is in me, bro. Everything is in my mind. The altars in my mind of everything. I mean, I
Everything is
really
in your mind.
did a mental expansion, but the mental expansion was in the next realm. I can see
But
shit. I can picture it out. When I
but
actually
that's
slow down, I even look like stuff like this. I'll be going through the file cabinet. I got 72 files. I got two
mhm,
packs of like 30 something and 30 something files. I'll be like,
mhm.
all right, I need this name. Which pile is it in?
Hey, but that's the law
Then
number
listen
one.
and think, 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 think. Up there it is. You know
What's
what I'm
law
saying?
number one?
What?
The mind is all and
The- It's connected to everything.
the universe is mental.
The mind is all and the universe is mental. And
And
that's
that's
when I learned about you remember I said I wanted to know about the universe.
hmm
And you just said it. The mind is all and the
is
universe
all
is
the universe
mental.
is
Now
mental.
let's break that down.
Hey,
Then we'll get
that's
somewhere.
law number one. Once you
Well,
get
that's
there,
just number
you
one, right?
yeah. Then you got to go through all the phases. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? Duality. You know what I'm
uh,
saying?
duality, the law of the opposites,
Right. Sits.
polarization, karma, all those things start to get applied.
What is the gender? You
Gender,
know.
all
So
those things start because in the realm of objects, all of those things are necessary for you to be in a realm where you could see people interact with people and all this. See, we're
mhm,
starting to go back into the how this whole realm was even created, bro.
mhm,
That's what the book of knowledge, the keys of
mhm,
Enoch is talking about. How this
mhm,
realm is even created, how we got down here. That's why it talks about the Father's universe being the grand universe, galaxies, solar system, the big shit. Then the
mhm,
mother's universe being the small, the micro, the tiny cosmic energy. All right,
mhm,
biology, the electrons, and then the sun's universe be a conscious programming
mhm,
of consciousness into these
mhm,
bodies to see what's going to happen.
mhm,
How this consciousness is going to take getting put into this body that dies when the consciousness itself is everlasting in the world and not of it. I can't say it enough.
right.
And until we get
Right.
that, we was just talking about death today. And I was like, look, I told him the story about I was in the military. We went to this island. Person was drowning. Next thing you know, people was swimming out to get him. The current was too rough. They swam back in. A boat came, saved the person. You looked up from the boat. There was twin tornadoes.
Mm,
Real talk. The wind picked up. The skies got gray. People thought we were dead. The tornadoes looked like they were like maybe less than a mile away. Real talk.
wow.
They all huddled into this little it was an overnight stay, not like a
Mm,
hotel, but like a well, like them overnight stays where it's not too big, but like a
the-
bread and breakfast. There we go.
mhm, okay.
Bro, they were all packed in there, bro. They were so scared. I smelled piss, all that.
Mm,
Went the other way. I sat out there on this little gazebo by myself, just watching the story. Well, if I'm gonna die with some dignity. That's all I
you
said to myself.
stupid.
If
You
I'm gonna die, I'm gonna
stupid.
die with some goddamn dignity, nigga. And this was before I even knew death was just the beginning, but it was always a part of me.
Right.
It was always
So
there because I didn't fear it. You know what I'm
you
saying?
know,
But go ahead.
so like I was on this Desi show on Sunday, right? I didn't request to be on. I actually wish I would have been on there. I was in the comments,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was explaining to them because one of the brothers on there, that's a part of the platform, and he was talking about nobody can't tell him about himself or this, that, or whatever. And so, what I was telling him, I said, um, that's one of the things that came for Trishan. For Trishan, Is what I'm saying the word right? That
few, I know what you're saying. Not
but
futurism.
one of the things that
In the future,
well
what
just
came to you?
yeah
Well, go ahead.
the well just spread it like okay because like being when I was younger I always had the gift of like in church they say discernment, you know, like
Uh-huh.
so I can be sitting next to somebody and then I can almost feel their energy. I know like I can see some of the things that they've been through or
Mhm.
whatever.
Some of the
But
experiences.
so what I was telling him, I said there are people that's here. He's like, no, I ain't gonna believe that. I said, dude, I I know for a fact because I'm one of those persons, you know. And the thing is, I don't like to. I don't. It's a gift and a curse at the same time because the whole thing is, you see stuff that you don't want to see about
You don't want
somebody.
to see.
You know what I'm saying? And so the thing
And
about it
something
is
you're
like,
definitely not going to tell them that you see.
right. And then but you know what? You're still responsible once you know. That's the part that I don't like.
Well,
It's just
it
like
depends. Just because you know doesn't mean you have to act.
no, right. But however, but if you know that somebody's struggling with something or going through something, it's your job to go ahead and
No,
almost
sir. No, sir. It's a side effect from the effect of the capital L love that
mhm,
makes us want to do it. Don't get it twisted. A lot of the stuff
because
we do that makes us like, oh, they're nice, or we're trying to give stuff away free. That's a side effect from the gifts of the spirit that we have got.
so let me
You
tell you,
know what I'm saying? It's
I know
not
what you're saying.
necessarily something you have to do.
Mm.
Now, if it feels right, and I'm talking about spiritually feels right, and oh, they really struggling, and you give them a word of advice and keep it moving,
Yeah, but you
absolutely.
ain't got to key in on what it is.
Right.
However, you still once you know something and you know and they're there, you have to
Okay.
it eats me. You know what I'm saying? It
I know what
eats
you're
me
saying.
like so like trying to find the right word to say or put it in a way that is
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Because if you don't say anything, it's like, why didn't you say something? Now you arguing with yourself about why you didn't say nothing. I told you that for a reason. I know what you're saying. It's,
So
it's
that's why I said
a thin line.
you become somewhat responsible. So like and then some people they want you to like, well, if that's the case, well just read me, tell me about my and a lot of times I'll just be like, you know what, it's not for that. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
not what it's for. You know, so I'm not some how some psychics or you know what I'm saying that can tell you everything and nothing like that, but I can feel your pain. That's the part that I feel. I feel people's
Yes.
pain. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can do that too. Yeah.
And
Now, if I
so
look in your eyes, I can read your story.
and right. So if they sit next to me and then you know what I'm saying, and then I feel it. Sometimes I have to get up and go somewhere else because I don't want
Well,
to have
you know what
nothing to
that
do
is?
with it.
That's the aurora. That's the light body that projects around them. You rub against people all the time. It's just sometimes you're in that calm mental state
Hmm.
that's focused but relaxed
Hmm.
consciously, and you can pick up on that. That's a state of being that you got to get used to being in. If you get so used to being, then you can kind of not push against it, but you can become the middle way,
And
balance. You'll have balance with it. You won't
so
let it
like
just come and overwhelm you.
I get up and move. You know, before when I start to feel that energy like that, I just get up and move because I don't want to
Well,
know. I don't want to feel
I'm
it.
gonna
I
be
don't want.
real. It's probably gonna be more now because now you know what's happening. So
Mhm.
you're responsible for more,
And
unfortunately.
that's what I was saying. That's what I was just telling you that you become responsible once your gift
But you
is just like
remember my journey. Oh my God, this is the best thing here. Take this, take this. Nigga, get out of here with that damn crap, that witchcraft, that bullshit. You gonna be crazy. Oh, okay. Oh
mm,
yeah.
hmm yeah.
The reject and don't get it twisted. Everyone, when you get into spirituality, there'll be a point of rejection. Could be
Right.
your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your best friends, shit,
Hmm.
your husband. I'm
Hmm.
just saying, you're gonna have to make a choice of, do you really want to know the truth? Do you really want to get out of the circumstance, which is
And
this meat suit?
that part right there, you know what I'm saying, is just like because some people sit there and they'll just be like, I need to know, or I want to, you know what I'm saying? And then it's just like,
Once
I
they
don't.
start knowing, right? I don't want to know anymore. Take it
So,
away. Take it away. You
so,
can't
hey,
take away knowing.
so check this out. This when I was I used to be a manager of Foot Locker in Columbus, right? When I lived there, and in Columbus, their Foot Locker is a department store. It's huge. It's not one of those little ones that you go in the mall.
Side shop stores.
No, this is like, I mean, it's like a little, it's like a store by itself. So in the back you have House of Hoops, and then we had a hole in the wall, and it goes to a Lady Foot Locker, which is a smaller store of the Foot Locker, because we sold
Hmm.
everything. I mean, it had to be 100 sneakers going on one side of the wall. But anyways, the chick that used to be a manager at Lady Foot Locker, this is when I just start tapping in. You know, I already knew I had, you know, something, but she was over there. I was like, you know, we was talking about you know, reading energy and stuff like that. And I was telling her, I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
you know, I don't like to do it. And she's like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you, this, that, or whatever. And I was like, I said, trust me. I said, I can. I said, and she's well, tell me about myself. Tell me about myself, right? I said, I really don't. I said, and then what happened? I shouldn't have did it, but there's a crowd of people standing around me, and they're like,
You know,
hell no,
put you on the
this is.
spot.
And so I said, okay. I told her about herself. Why old girl start breaking down, crying right there. How do you know this? How does? And she took off a couple of days of work for that.
You probably helped her though. Don't get
Yeah,
it
but
twisted.
I hope that you know what
You
I'm saying.
broke
But
the denial. You broke the oh no. I even she was mad at how you knew it because now she had to face it. Whatever it was, I don't even know what it was, but whatever it was, she had to face it now. Take a few days off, get back. When she came back, was she better? Did she talk to you?
she talked to me, but it was still, you know, it was funny, but it's
Of
just like,
course.
you know what I'm saying. So
But
I
if
don't
she
like to.
talked to you, that's saying that what you said, she didn't get bitter because of it. She got
Yeah,
better. The other
yeah,
B because of it. You see what I'm saying? If she came back to you and said hi and bye, then you straight.
right,
She probably don't want you to read her again.
yeah, and that's why I tell her it's not for that purpose, you know. And see, and the one thing about that is that the first thing that will happen if you let the lower side of you go ahead, it's like, dude, I can get paid for this.
Becomes money immediately.
That's how a lot.
Turns into money
And that's not what it's
immediately.
for. That's what it's not for. You know, I always knew from a child, you know what I'm saying, that because I used to see things like symbol. So that's the biggest thing that I need to get into. I need to get more into symbolism because
Symbolism.
like as a child I used to see symbols and in
What
my
you need to do
dreams.
then, you need to get into this is how I got into symbolism. Your Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's you the Book of the Dead.
I think I got that book.
It goes through and it shows you the words and you know what I'm saying, what the hieroglyphics mean.
Hmm.
Or you can get a book on hieroglyphics because a lot of
Hmm.
those pictures represent the psychic imprint that's already in us. That's why I love the Egyptian, or should I say, Kemetic stuff,
Hmm.
because it's a psychic imprint that's been in us for millions of years. That's
Hmm.
why they want to try to claim that these light skinned pale Arabs are Egyptians. Come on, bro. Stop in a minute.
So the one thing that I did do that I must confess, and I'll tell you about it now. Like like I said, it could be a gift and it could be a curse.
Uh-huh.
With women, it allowed me to go ahead.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna be real. I love women like that too, bro. If I'd have had some type of advantage, no, I take that back because I never used my poetry or anything to get women.
Hey, let me tell
I
you
thought it was.
because
I'm gonna be real. I thought it was cheap. Scoot used to use his drawings and he'll draw him something. I always thought that shit was cheap. He's like, bro,
hey,
I gotta use what I got to get
so
what I want.
that's why like a lot of women today, like when I was after my divorce and or whatever, it, it was easy for me. But the thing about it was that I seen a lot of women that go ahead and they think they this, that, or whatever. Even today, like when I read their stories and stuff, and I look at they,
Mhm.
and or I see a video of them, and I can read their energy, and it's just like, you know what? I know that you sit home and you cry at night. You know what I'm saying? I know these.
Right,
You know
right.
what
But
I'm saying?
on online, you know what? This is what's the white dude? What's the Jason White? What you call it? White? The dude that'll be on the internet when he be talking bad, not bad, but talking about the gangs and all these rappers and how they be promoting killing. I think
Hmm.
it's Jason White, but he was on and he was talking about how
Oh, Charleston White.
Charleston White, yes,
Okay, I
he
like
was
him.
he was sitting there and he was talking about how 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 women raise their kids to be their man.
Mm-hmm.
Then they look for their man to be like their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Shit is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen that one. I
I was
seen
like,
that one.
wow.
He
And
did
it made
another one.
sense.
He did another one where this lady was sitting next to him and she was saying something and this and that. And then he was like, I know all about you. He was like, you sitting up here, you're selling your pussy on the internet, this, that, or
Uh-huh.
whatever. And it goes deeper down than that. It was your uncle that molested you and this and that. And and then she just was stuck. She couldn't say anything.
Oh,
She was like,
wow.
yeah, but see, I can do that. Like that's why I said a lot of I never was impressed by dudes that thought they was all of that or women that was
Mhm.
all of that. Because you know what? I can wear my natural, be myself,
How
and
about
I
look,
know who you are. I know who
how
you are
how about this
without
one?
all that.
He asked the woman a question. He said, "Do you think a man would be less than a man if he couldn't change a tire?" So the
Mm,
girls, almost all the girls said, "Yeah, he ain't gonna be yes, hell yeah. Can't change a goddamn tire." Then he said, "Do you think a woman is less than a woman if she can't cook a meal from scratch?"
mm,
What'd you hear? Chirps. Nothing.
nothing. Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. Because
Hmm.
women are so judgmental nowadays. Remember, they're the prize. We ain't shit. We should be happy that they're even in our presence.
But you know what? That's the thing. Mental. What I'm trying to tell you is that I never ever was impressed by women that think they too good or that they gotta
Mm.
have the bag, this, that, or whatever. Because I know who you are without
But
all. I know
not
who
only that,
you
you know
are.
why I didn't like it? That's masculine energy. I
Yeah,
don't want a man in the bed with me,
yeah, that
disguised as
too.
a woman.
Hmm.
Hell no.
But you know what? Those people that chase the bag and that want to go ahead and this and that, I see right through them, man. That's why I just like when I
Well,
go places.
listen, you know what I see? The first, what is it? No, I'll start off. First thing I see is sadness.
Yeah, that's what I. Right,
First thing, they're
right.
sad as hell. They may come
Hmm.
off as happy, wearing
They're
the
not
makeup
happy.
every
They're not
time
happy.
they are not happy. They
And
sad as fuck.
they'll get on the internet and say, "Oh, my bills is paid. I got this. I don't need that." I'm
I'm
like,
on
"You
a
still
trip.
not
Look,
happy?
I'm on a trip to Jamaica by myself,
You not
crying in
happy?
the hotel room because I ain't
You
got
not
no.
happy?"
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's gotten to the point where it's just like, especially like those couples that come on there and then they be kissing all the time, or my husband, I'm making this, or my wife this, or whatever, end up in divorce.
Well,
I see it
let's
all
be
the time.
real. Most people
I see
don't
it all
even
the
know
time.
themselves more or less know another person.
Mm,
I mean, some of us are gifted to know. I knew that if I ain't happy in a relationship, there ain't no goddamn relationship.
mm-hmm,
Do
mm-hmm,
you understand what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So it
mm-hmm,
was never happy life, happy woman, happy life, happy woman. No, 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 no. I want you to
mm-hmm,
be happy, but
mm-hmm,
I have to be happy with your
mm-hmm,
happiness.
mm-hmm.
Your happiness cannot encrowd on my happiness.
But you don't
You know
see
what
you
I'm
sitting.
saying?
But see, you don't
There's a
be in a.
balance that has to happen.
See, but that's what I'm saying. Like when I sit there and then I read the little things or whatever. Oh, my husband this, my wife this, my husband this, and I'm just like, you know what? And then I sit there and then I look and then I read the words and then I see them and I could see the energy of unhappiness. Oh man,
Remember, in the
it's crazy.
beginning was the word. So now
Yeah.
you're starting to dig into the words that people say. It ain't what they're saying, it's how they're saying it.
Boom. That's it right there. That's it.
And when
When I
they say
read it
it, and
and
the
I'm just
more they
like,
talk, the more they reveal themselves to you. And you're like, okay, just stop. I don't want to know anymore. You won't stop.
and I
Oh,
want
okay.
people to be happy. I do want people to be happy, but there's a difference, and you can tell, man. You can tell. And that's why I said that's why I don't like to go out no more. Really, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to go out because I see fake. I see people with masks on
Oh,
all the time. You know, I don't
Jazzy,
like to.
welcome to my world, my brother. To go out, being a conscious being, and look at the people consciously and be like, there ain't no consciousness in this motherfucker right now. Everybody about drinking tits and ass and trying to pull someone or be cool.
Mm-mm.
Hey,
When you
welcome
start
to
to
the
have
less
it,
than look. Welcome to the less than 1%. That's all I can tell you.
and you know, like a lot of the things, those things really don't. It's just I've been there, done that. You know,
But
like my
look at
son
what
was
it
calling me,
took.
telling me today
But look at what
about
it took for you to get there. The journey, the
it was
shadow
rough.
work, the
It was
right
rough.
decisions.
It
You
was
got with
rough,
the right people. Everything
man.
had to align.
You know what?
See, people don't
Remember,
look at that shit when I'm talking about timing. The spirit is responsible for timing. When your timing's right, all things can be done. Anything can be done if your timing's right. Anything.
you know the biggest thing with the shadow work, like you know, when I was married for 20 years, right? And then like, so when I remember I told you I would start playing the music going back in years and years
Mhm.
and everything. And then when the first thing when the spirit was just like, you know what, you have to go back to every woman that you may have that you know that you may have damaged.
See, that's shadow. That's shadow work.
Dude, I was like, hell no.
You like, you know how many women that is? To
I was like,
yourself, like,
hell
whoa,
no.
hold on.
Yo,
Keisha, Melissa, Lisa, Cannon.
hey, yo, that was you know what?
Hey,
And then like to go ahead and find the number in my phone and call or either text and
but
say, you
see,
know what?
it wasn't that jazzy. It was the work of thinking about the girl, finding the number, texting and calling till you talk to her. It's more about the work than actually talking to her and apologizing. Believe it or not,
Yo, but
people don't realize that.
the whole thing is after I was done, they was like, you know what?
Oh,
Nobody hung up on me. They all talked to me. They said, well, you didn't do everything by yourself. And they say, I'm so glad you called, you know,
right,
and
because they get closure. Same thing. Both y'all get healed. Don't get it twisted. You ain't the only. But that's the best thing about the truth and the spirit. It heals
so the,
everything that can accept it.
so
But if you
now
can't
that
accept it, then it can hurt.
I had to do all of that those years back, the worst thing that you ever want to do is get caught up in a situation where you have to go head back and repeat. It's like, what did you learn? So you see what I'm saying? So like by going through that, you do the work. Okay, so now you know. So it's just like you're very conscious of the things what you did do, and now going
Yep.
forward, it's just that you don't want to do that to
And you're in an
anybody else.
adult mind, so you can clear up all that childhood shit, get all that right,
I mean,
assign guilt or whatever, and forgive who
so
you need to forgive and let it
and then
go.
the first thing you have to forgive yourself because that's
Fact.
the you know what I'm saying. That was the first step. I had to build enough courage to go ahead and say, you know what, even though these things happen, you know what I'm saying, I still love who I am. You know what I'm saying, and those things about me that I can
Well,
change.
you have to embrace yourself to be your
Hmm.
best self. If
Hmm.
someone embraces themselves and think they're all flower and roses, that's a motherfucking lying. He's not doing any work. He is not. Because all of
Hmm.
us has our flaws. No one is
Hmm.
perfectly balanced in the beginning. That's the whole point of finding balance.
Hmm.
Going through yourself, going over your childhood, forgiving your parents, forgiving your friends, forgiving anyone that did anything to you while they were trying to find out who the hell they were. Your
And
parents
you know
did the
what?
best goddamn job they could do. They ain't perfect. They didn't know anything better than what you knew.
And that, you know what the thing is, I said that
Grew
on
up
here
in the same
before
system.
that my parents actually, it might have been like it was during the pandemic. They when I went over and I went up in their room, they was in there, and then they start telling me, it's like, baby, they said, listen, my dad, he was like, he started off and he was like, I want to let you know. He said, you one strong dude. You know, he said, not to take anything away from my brothers and sisters or
Hmm.
anything, but he's like, you're stronger than, you know what I mean? Because of things that he said, all the things that I've been through. And he was like, I wish that like they listen to some of the things that I say. Cause what I'm saying right now is like, they don't hear because you know how, cause
I used to be when I used to talk. Oh, I feel you. You know, I know.
so
All they hear is the static.
listen, he said, you was our first child. He said, I want you to know that we didn't know everything how we knew now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He said, and he said, I want to apologize to you. He said that I'm
Wow.
sorry, bro. And then my mom was like, baby, she's like, that's true. You was my first baby. And, we didn't know anything. You know what I'm saying? And we was
Do
just
you
winging
know
it.
how much humble pie a parent has to have to apologize to a kid? Nigga, my
Dude,
parents would
that almost
never
made me,
apologize.
that almost brought tears in my eyes. I was
Yeah.
like, dang, I had to, you know how you got that, where you got to swallow real hard?
Nigga, I got beat till I think I had a little blood in my eye, and my parent, the best I got is, you all right?
So I mean, and then I mean, they both said it. They was
Wow.
like, yeah, yeah, and I was just like, I said, my
That's
dad, I
powerful.
said, and I was like, look, I said,
Wow. Think of
and
the spirit that was in you that was commanding an apology. Wow. That's the way I look at it.
you,
Just
you know what the
not like
thing
you. I
is,
look at it even different. What is
you
in
know,
you that made them feel like they had to apologize?
change, and
Mm,
I'm noticing that about like even like um some of my friends, some of my exes, and
mhm.
everything. I'm noticing the reaction about how I've changed. You know what I'm saying? Even like my daughter mom, she tells me all the time, she's like, you know what? She's like, you are not the same person I met,
Right.
and she said, and she's like, you,
She feels
you
cheated.
no, no. She, my daughter mom, she's like, I
No,
love
not your.
who you
I
become.
meant your ex.
Oh, but my
Now
daughter
that you're this
mom,
new person, where were you?
I
You
don't
know how
need,
that shit go.
it could be. I just haven't really dove into that part of anything,
Let
but
it
I know
go. You ain't
I,
got to.
I don't want to, because I've done my part where I've apologized and did this and
That's
that.
all you
So
can do.
that's done. But my daughter mom, she tells me all the time, she's like, you know what? The person who you become, who you are now, is totally different. And she was just saying, like, I see so much more out of you now than what you've been in the past. And,
Mm,
so that's why I said what my parents seen is change.
mm.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's up.
So since I've come into spirituality, you know, it must be like you said, the energy and the light that shines there where they can accept that, okay, you know what, he ain't the same person he used to be. You know what I'm saying? And
But
then
you got to
and then
remember, a lot of the strides that you made are things that you have done.
hmm
You okay?
hmm
Interchanges that you've done. So your light has changed from red, orange, and yellow to
yellow to
green,
green.
blue, and purple. Okay,
Hmm
your consciousness, a whole conscious, you have been reborn, and they can see
hmm
that you are of a different energy.
hmm
Okay, I mean,
hmm
but that's the glory of the spirit, man. That's the
Hey,
best thing about
you know what?
this whole journey that we
I
took
love
since
it
starting
here.
Car Talk.
I love it here. You know what I'm saying? I love.
It's nice, ain't it? They be laughing like this nigga might be happy at work all the time. What I ain't got to be happy about. Let's
That's
be
what I
real.
say. You know what? So I know when people start with me, I'm just like, you know what? I, I'm not that
All I
person.
do, look, I'm gonna
You're
be
not
real,
gonna
bro.
get that same response out of me
Kill
like you
him,
used to
kill him
with
with
kindness.
consciousness or
Hmm
education or scripture or
hmm
scholarship. I just hit him with
mm
the truth
Hey,
because the
that's
nine
the
times
thing
in
right
10 you
there.
talking about
Scholarship.
scholarship.
Scholarship
I hit him with
is
scholarship.
always on any level. Scholarship.
Scholarships, books. That's why on my Facebook, not overstanding darkness, but the one on my Michael Campbell Facebook, all you see is all the books.
Hmm
I'm letting you know, right, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm about. But hey,
hmm
Jazzy, it's been a great night. Oh my gosh, we done rolled over. Woo.
We could have had her come on.
God dang, I ain't even think of that, I ain't think we would be this long.
Me either. Me either.
But
But
then
this,
again, if
you
we
know
would have had
why?
her come on,
But you
the
know,
energy, we might have been tired about the time she might have been just waking up, getting into it. I'm gonna be real. Sometimes
yeah.
we good, we got plenty of time. We ain't trying to rush nothing
But you know what the whole thing is? If anybody is watching, this is how we talk all
all
the
the time.
time.
This is why we put it on tape because we talk, have these conversations amongst
We have these
ourselves.
conversations like this all the time. And then, like, I mean, I remember like when we used to have guests on, when I was driving out to my old job, and it's
Hmm.
just like, oh, I'm gonna tell you something about that before we go to. So I'm driving out to my old job, and I'm like, I'm here, and then I gotta go, I'm rushing to get in
Right when the
there.
conversation was getting good.
Yo, I was late all the time. And then when I knew that I was getting a new job, I was just like, oh well, it's just like it was
Because I
like
was late
whatever
all the time. We all used
all
to
the
hold it
time.
to the last minute. All right, I gotta go. I
Oh
gotta go. I gotta go.
yeah, I'll be sitting there and I'll be just oh man,
But
but
you
it was
know
good
something? I used to
conversation.
think that's what used to make them so vital because we had a time limit. And I think the
Hmm.
spirit used to build that shit up on purpose. And so just when we leave it, like, well, we'll talk about this tomorrow, knowing
Yeah,
goddamn well we'll be on
and
a
then
whole new
I say
subject
write it
tomorrow.
down or send it to me in a text
Yep.
when we
Yep.
remember. Never remember.
Never remember.
But I was talking to my dad today. Then he's like, "When you start your new job?" I said, "This time Monday." I stopped. I put my notice in my job. I resigned from the job in May, and
Mhm.
May 23rd was my last day. Right. All this time, I mean, Spirit is just taking care of me. You know what I'm saying? And then I told my dad, I said, you know what? I just really put money at the back burner of my mind because I've always had enough the whole time. You know what I
That's
mean?
what's
It's
up.
just like, I mean, I didn't have a thing where I had to struggle or to even, my bills are still being paid. Everything. It's just like, the little, my vacation time and everything,
Uh-huh.
I just like, who can go ahead and go a whole month, and some time and then still be at
When you're
peace.
living in the spirit, you can. Shit, you can go a whole year if you
Man,
had to.
and then look at it. It's just like, I was like, damn, man, I could have still been at work all this time. You know what I'm saying? Because
Making
it's been
money.
yeah, I could have still been at
No,
work.
but
You know
you
what I'm
needed
saying?
that in between time to get right, readjust, get your sleeping pattern together. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hey,
it's still going to take, it takes months to get out of that nighttime, staying
yeah.
up, being up at nighttime.
But you know what the whole thing is too? It seems like I've been working because I've been doing so much stuff, like the
Other stuff.
yard. I mean, dug up, did everything, put the patio set. I mean, I just still been doing stuff
It's
every day.
always some, always
Appointments,
work to be done.
always. Yeah, it's always something. So it's just like I really don't. I'm like, man, I feel like I've still been working, but I do have a gentleness that I'm not going in rushing to get out there and work overnights no more. That's the peace part. But
Right.
we'll talk some more.
Yes. All right,
Sunday,
player. Sunday,
Sunday,
2 o'clock.
two
You
o'clock.
already know.
And like, share, subscribe.
Subscribe.
If you got any
However
questions,
y'all do
we'll
it.
answer
Y'all,
them.
y'all youngsters know. In fact, not
Oh,
only like and share, take it, put it on your platform. I mean, this is this next level stuff. 2 o'clock, we talking about the book of knowledge. We talking about other planes, other universes, Pleiades, Orion, how there's civilizations there, how there's the order of Melchizedek, the order of Michael, the order of Gabriel, the order of Metatron. There's so many stuff and
mhm,
where they get their scientific all they scientific movies where they break it down and show all they doing is taking it from these books, all right,
mhm,
and we're trying to expose that to let you know this is your legacy, this is where you're going, the
mhm.
Galactic Federation, all right, we're part of that, other planets, all right.
Oh,
The only
mental.
reason we haven't had contact is because the rulers or the Elohims that fell on this realm trying to hold us down with them. They want us all to go down in the same rabbit hole, but it ain't
Mhm.
happening. Go ahead, Jazzy. Parting thoughts.
Oh, okay. So next Wednesday, it was supposed to be this Wednesday, but they canceled it for the Sheila E. But
Right.
next Wednesday, they're gonna give me an honor for doing my
Oh
music thing,
yeah,
and
that's right.
so that's gonna be next Wednesday. It's gonna be at, if you're here in the Rock, at Club Euphoria on Washington Street, and it's start at 7. and they got a table for me and give me a little award
That's
and
what's
everything.
up.
So hey, I wasn't even expecting it. You know what I'm saying? I
Take your
appreciate it.
flowers, bro.
Hey, you know me. I wasn't even. You know what I'm saying? When he
Uh-huh.
called me, it's like, yo, I want to give you your honor and everything for the, because he was like, you the reason why the whole nightclub scene with the band and everything happened. And I was like,
Hmm.
man, I really appreciate this. I humbly accept. And I would never have even imagined that somebody would even go ahead and think about me in that kind of way. So I appreciate it. Grand Tone here in the Rock. So, but yeah, if you available, come out, celebrate with me. My family, my friends, and everything will be there. So next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. But Sunday, if you here, come on, join Tuesday,
Two
Sunday at two
o'clock.
o'clock. And if you in the comments and you want to come on, we can bring you on to say, hey, can you send you a link or whatever?
Hmm.
Because we would like to go ahead and have that live interaction as well. But Sunday at 2, Mental, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So Friday, I mean, today is
Today
tomorrow,
Thursday.
Friday. Tomorrow,
Tomorrow's
Friday. We'll
Friday.
talk tomorrow's Friday or Saturday. All
Right.
right.
Well, peace
Love you,
and
bro.
love, my people.
All right.
Peace. Tar
One.
talk.